All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Dash. Say shalom and double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. Shalom to the elect, Lord willing, with some of those men and women. Hey, I'm my brother Gabar, Yahweh from GMS Hawaii. Coming to you with a quick lesson. It was inspired by this video that you see right here in front of you. And it says Derrick Rose correlates NBA to gladiator arena, and that's exactly what this is. You know, all of these different distractions, they call them attractions, but they're really distractions from what's really going on. Nothing that's done down here is done because the Esau Edom, those that are in power, the super elite Edomites, want the best for you. A lot of these things that they give you are set up to distract you from what's really going on in the world. And that's where you get the term breading circuses from. So without further ado, let me play a real quick this video and then I'll get some precepts.
Hey, this shit, I look at basketball, this shit is a game. You know what I mean? Like, I never look at this shit as like it define me. Like, nah, bro. I got a question. Name one gladiator, or name five gladiators. Can somebody name one or five?
Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, though. You probably can't. And the reason I say that is because it's all entertainment. 100 years from now, they gonna look at us as fucking gladiators. And nobody ain't gonna care. You get what I'm saying? We still playing in the same arena as the motherfuckers playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't name one.
Speechless.
But how did facts, bro? You can't like, and
I
that's.
think 100 years from now,
I'm just saying, or 200. I'm just saying, an X amount of years from now, it's gonna be like, man.
if you know, you know about the gladiator and the whole NBA, NFL gladiator. If you know, you know.
Like,
Right. So this guy, he's an NBA basketball player. I think he just retired too. He said that, it's all entertainment. You got jakes out there that take these sports and these things that happen. And it is right, it is entertainment. Jake, you watch it on your downtime, but you got some people, particularly of our nation, of the nation of Israel, that take this like it's their life. You see dudes trashing their TVs. You see you see people getting in fights about who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And it's just you don't understand that there's other things to worry about. But like you said, these NBA players, these NFL players are nothing more than the gladiators of their day. Your Floyd Mayweathers, your Mike Tysons, they're all gladiators of their day. Because what? This is Rome all over again. All right. And real quick, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. It says that the thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So the same thing that would happen in the ancient world is happening right now in the so-called present day. All right. It's nothing new. It's just done in a different way. Whether that's an advancement of technology, whether that's just a certain way that they address it. And so right here it says, somebody says, I guess this guy's name is Mortal Zen. Derrick Rose correlates NBA to Gladiator Arena Part 2. NBA and NFL is the modern day Roman circus. Yep. Derrick Rose is speaking in code in this video, so you'll only get what he says if you have prior knowledge on the Roman circus being a modern day NFL or NBA. And you can put the MLB, you can put soccer or football leagues, right? Not American football leagues, but like European leagues. Again, shout out. This is again shout out to Derrick Rose for taking the time to do this interview. I'm glad I can push these clips of it out there to like-minded individuals, right? Well, he only got a piece of it. He don't understand why it's being used. And I got another video right here. I typed in Roman Circus, and we all should know William Cooper. William Cooper was speaking about the distractions that are set up.
Contracted to pay One player on one team, $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people
Right, because why people becoming restive? Because of the state that the world is in, right? And they like even this shit with Diddy, that's nothing but a distraction. Entertainment. He's an entertainer. And even his downfall is entertainment for people. You got people making documentaries about this guy, bringing him out like he's so important. Meanwhile, what do you have going on? You have wars, you got lack of bread, you got massive strikes, which all of these are used as distractions too. Pressure from above, pressure from below, Hegelian dialectics, problem, action, solution. All of these things are happening to get the people's minds off of what's really going on, which there's a hostile takeover that the elites have been undertaking for centuries, right? Taking rights away from the people, taking necessities from away from the people, putting the people in a chokehold so that they could worship them, and that's what's really happening.
don't like the policies of the emperor, people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor, he sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum.
Yeah.
Then he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. He has great chariot races and football games and basketball games,
Yeah.
all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world.
Absolutely. You got entertainment like what ESPN, I forget what that stands for. It might have like entertainment sports something. Entertainment sports. Let me see what ESPN stands for real quick. Network, right? This is entertainment sports programming network. Entertainment and sports programming network. And that's what like sites like ESPN stand for. They're set up to program you to put a stock, put importance, give importance to these things, right?
So that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is. So they
Right.
don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated.
Right. And that's all that you're being. You're being manipulated. You're being taken and taken. Real quick, this is the book of Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and they take them by violence and the houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Now, when a man is um, being manipulated to put his energy or her energy, woman, men and women, they put their energy in the things that don't really benefit them while you're being robbed, right? And that's what the super elite do. That's what the oppressors do, right? They'll take you, they'll oppress you, and you don't even know you're being oppressed. They'll take you, you don't even know you're being taken for a ride. And they'll take a man in his heritage. Why? Because that's what they covet. They want everything that belongs to you. Hey, you got the whole Klaus Schwab thing. You'll have nothing and be happy, right? They didn't do that shit overnight. That shit was a process of gradualization over time. More and more your rights were being taken away, but you were none the wiser because what? You were manipulated by the bread and circuses, right? I typed in his bread and circus, right? Bread and circuses. It says bread and circus or bread and games from the Latin panem et circus is a metonymic is a figure of speech phrase referring to superficial appeasement. And that's exactly what all of this shit is. NBA, NFL, MLB, all of these things, they're nothing more than superficial appeasements, right? They'll give you something to focus on while they really take you for a ride. Is a tribute to Juvenal, um, a Roman poet active in the late first and early second century AD. Is used commonly in cultural and particularly political contexts. In a political context, the phrase means to generate public approval not by excellence in public service or public policy, but by diversion, distraction, or by satisfying the most immediate or base requirements of a populace by offering a Politive, for example, food, bread, or entertainment, circuses. Juvenile originally used this to decry the selfishness of common people and their neglect of wider concerns. Right. Again, like we were saying, you got you got all kinds of things happening right now in the world, which is really moving you to prophecy, right? Particularly Jake's, they give you these bread and circuses, so you're not concerned with prophecy. You're not concerned with the things that are written in the Bible that are really happening in your life. I remember I was discussing like last week. I was discussing with Elder Mwakazak from LA that, hey man, we're actually living in the Bible. Like we're reading this book as if it's something of the past, which we don't. Us in the truth, we don't do that. But people in the world, you so-called Christians, aka you anti Christians, that's what you are. You're the antichrist, the real antichrist. Are you Christians? You're reading this book as if it's something that's of old, and it may or may not apply to your current life today. Not understanding that you're living in a time of the Bible. We're actually living in biblical moments right now, right? We're actually living the scriptures. They're jumping off the page. And only those who have eyes salve can really see and understand that, hey, this is us. Those things that are written beforehand were what? Written for our learning because they are actually happening today, right? It's a book being written right now. We're living in a book. We're living off the pages. That's why these words jump off the pages to us, right? But the masses, they can't see it because they're being led with bread and circuses, right? They're being led and they're being drawn. It says juvenile originally used this to decry the selfishness of common people and their neglect of wider concerns. The phrase implies a population's erosion or ignorance of civic duty as a priority. So, like you'll prioritize the gladiators and the arenas. You'll prioritize the bread and the shit that gets you tired. Bread destroys the body, right? You know, and you're the same thing of old is the same thing that's happening today. The gladiators are old, just the same way these guys that you see in these different sports, they were gladiators in the ancient world, right? Spartacus, people like that. And when they ask these niggas simple to show you how simple a nigga is, this guy he tried to get deep. Got the Moorish temple hat on, or the 5% hat on, right, and the glasses, right, and the wine, try to make this dude seem like he's deep. And then he asks a simple question: name 5 gladiators from the ancient world, and the nigga said Russell Crowe, and everybody started laughing. But that showed the simplicity of Jake, right? That's why the scripture says this in 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, right? From his technology. This is Esau, Edom. His workings are after Satan, right? And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. Christianity is a strong delusion. Islam, strong delusion. 5% of more simple science. All of that shit is Islam. All of that shit is a strong delusion. And you got Jake that actually believe a lie, right? You got a nigga that's talking about Yahushua took he after 12 years old, he just disappeared. Where did he go? He went to Egypt to go. This nigga said he went to Egypt to go learn some ancient Egyptian crap, which is all bullshit. But those people that believe in that shit, that strong delusion is because they don't want to believe in the love of the truth where they might be saved, right? Which is what? That we're the Israelites. Salvation is for us. The sacrifice on which Yahweh Shai undertook was taken for the children of Israel, starting with the elect of Israel, right? Jake don't want to hear that. But you got niggas that are like scientists when it comes to sports and folly. But them niggas are simple when it comes to the understanding of the Holy Bible, of the scriptures, right? Because they didn't want to receive the love and where they might be saved, right? So the Lord gave them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 26. I therefore so run not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth the air. Because I'm bringing this out, showing you that even during Paul's time, they had this whole gladiator stuff going on, right? It says in the NLT, so I run not with purpose, in every step I am not just shadow boxing. All right, let's keep on reading real quick. But I keep under my body and bring into subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should become should be a castaway. Let me see what this says in the NLT. It says, I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself may be disqualified. So what are we bringing in our body into subjection? All right, the things that are pleasing to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? But I was like, I just typed in, um, did did they have gladiators during Paul's life, right? And it says yes, gladiators were a part of the Roman Empire during the time of the Apostle Paul. It says gladiators fought in public games and arenas throughout the Roman Empire from 105 BCE to 404 CE, right? This is BCE is before the Common Era, CE is Common Era. It says these games were a popular form of entertainment and were often sponsored by politicians. And why did politicians do that? Because they wanted to keep the the average people minds off of politics of the current state of the world that they were living in. They wanted to keep them occupied with folly. The scripture says what? In the book of Ecclesiastes 9, Ecclesiastes, I'll start at 9 and 5. 9 and 5.6. Okay. It says what? It says, hopefully it comes up. Right. It says, I'm sorry, I said 9 and 5. I meant 10 and 5. Points and 6. Ecclesiastes 10 and 5. And this thing is running so slow. Stupid website. It says, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place, right? Folly, gladiatorial events, that shit is folly, right? In the NLT, it says when they give a great authority to foolish people and low positions to people of proven worth. And the people who are proven worth are the Israelites, starting with the elect Israelite men, right? Who are the foolish? Esau, Edom, right? So folly is set in great dignity. And that's why this guy said to him, basketball is not his life. You know, they ask him all these stupid ass questions about playing a game. Even I think he even mentioned it. William Cooper, he had mentioned that these shits are child games. Let me see.
So they don't ever question the emperor. So that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is. So they don't ever.
Right. So it says you don't have the time because you're preoccupied with simplicity and folly. Right.
So that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is. So they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated.
Yep.
So they don't ever question the emperor.
And they don't. They don't question who are the true emperors of this world. These super elite bacon families. Apostle Tahar did a lesson earlier, and he was speaking about how you never see these super elites doing interviews. You don't see them on CNN. And back in the day, they had interviews with like some of the Rothschild men. I know like Evelyn the Rothschild, Elon Rothschild. He wrote a book. Nobody fucking gave a damn, but this man was a part of the family that's running this whole world into the ground. But you don't never really see these Rothschilds. If they put the Rothschilds in the lineup right now, and said and then these entertainers in the lineup and ask you who runs this world, you niggas will say Jay-Z, right? And the Rothschilds just walk away into the sunset because you're none the wiser.
That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus.
Yep.
I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets.
Yep.
And they think that's a great accomplishment.
Yep.
And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails.
Yep.
And talk about what this guy that plays third base for.
Yeah, and that's the shit that Jake is into. They'll be you go to the barber shop, niggas talking about, yo, you see how many stats LeBron James got? 3 for 3, 3 for 3, all this other weirdo shit. But you don't know what's really going on.
The Mets did in last night's game. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah, because the truth ain't for everybody.
Bred in circuses. What does this actually mean? I've seen this quote being used in a variety of contexts. Some people think of it as a positive slogan for the beauty of circus and the simple life, but its true meaning is actually a little more sinister. The quote comes from a Roman poet named Decimus Junius Juvenalius, or in English, Juvenal. Juvenal was born around 55 CE. At this time, Rome was reigned by the Emperor Nero, and the Roman Empire.
And Rome is being run by the Roman emperors today. Modern day Rome is America. Right? This is the second leg. Hey, Nero running for president again.
Was prospering. Born into a middle-class family, Juvenal found himself joining the army. However, after failing to get a promotion to officer, Juvenal became cynical. He started to complain and write about the court's bias in who gets promoted. This ultimately led to his banishment from Rome. He was driven away to Egypt, possibly, where he lived for many years. In 96 CE, the emperor who had been responsible for his banishment died. So Juvenal returned to Rome and began publishing his most famous work, Satires. The Satires were a collection of 16 satirical poems, divided into 5 books that were issued.
Yeah, you can read this on your own. I just wanted to see what he was talking about.
Books about how easy it is to fall from power. Referring to Sejanus, all along, he was ultimately the personification of body that used to confer commands, legions.
Yeah, so you can check that out. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this out. I thought it was really interesting that we're living in a world of yesterday, and the same thing that is today. Bread and circuses are the rule of the day, right? But the real things that you're supposed to be focused on is the truth, and the truth is found in the Bible, right? And it's only given to the elect men of Israel, right? You got so-called truthers out there, but they don't have the whole truth. We got the whole truth. So, hey, with that, we'll say shalom and on to the next.